Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to day 64 of commercial diving school. Today I actually got to burn underwater again, and I actually got zapped a little bit more than the other day, so I'm going to tell you about that. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and leave any comments or questions for me down in the comment section below. So today was another underwater burning day, so we set up all the equipment first thing in the morning, and then we got divers in the water. I started to tend in the morning time, and then right before lunch I actually got changed out to dive, and I got in the water. Now today was a little bit different because we actually had a different burning spot than I burned at the other day. So the other day I was burning on kind of like a barrel, kind of metal object in the water. And then today, about 20 feet away, I would say, from that first burning spot, I was burning on something else. And this was kind of like, imagine like a table, but like a table that's on its side. And like it's got the, legs like up in the air, like kind of horizontal, but the tabletop is like on its side. But in this case, it's metal, and the legs are like very thin pieces of metal, and they're about like this long. And the tabletop is like a diamond pattern plate. And so when I went down there, the ground was already attached to the project, and so really I just had to bring the burning torch head down there with me. Some people are calling it a gun. Um, we're also calling it like uh, the torch, or the stinger, but I'll just keep calling it the stinger just so everybody's on the same page. But so I brought the stinger down with me, and then you're trying to manage basically the stinger and your umbilical and the down line, and I'm also trying to follow the ground to see where it's at. So there's a bunch of things that kind of get in your way, but I feel like today I was a little faster to get myself situated on the project and find the spot on the project that I was going to start burning. They did tell us that they wanted, like the instructors wanted us to get like a little sliver of like whatever we were burning on, just so we can bring it up and they can inspect it and see like they want to see like shiny metal around the edges that we're burning. That's how they know that you're getting good penetration, because you want to have the rod like as far into the metal as you can. And they said you want to have like a glowing jack-o'-lantern look to it. You don't want it to be like bright in your eyes where you can't see anything, because that's how you know the rod isn't far enough in and it's arcing too much and it's creating too much light. So if it's all the way in to the project and it's glowing like a jack-o'-lantern and you can see all the holes and everything of where you burned. Oh, that's right, I was gonna show you guys the little sliver of metal that I actually burned off today. And basically what I did was I started kind of at the top, and I was going down, and I was gonna cut off like a whole like long piece of metal, but I actually got my dive cut short, like cut in half basically, because we had to go to lunch. So I was halfway through my 15 rods when they said, okay, you got one more rod. So I basically had to use my last rod to burn until I had like a thin piece of metal holding my plate, the little sliver that I was cutting off. I was cutting off that until I had a little bit of sliver left, and then I made it cold, and then I basically broke it off and brought it topside. But today, like I said the other day, I didn't get shocked like at all. Like I didn't feel any tingling or anything at all. But today I did feel like tingling in my hand, and basically I was using my right hand to use the stinger. And I basically felt like a shock, mainly like in here, like where my wrist is, but it was kind of traveling through my hand, like kind of starting at like one of my fingers and going through my hands and kind of ending at my wrist. And it really only shocks you kind of like, you know, those gums that are like fake gum and you go to like pull it out and it gives you like kind of a buzz. I would say that was more intense than this shock. Like I almost didn't notice it unless you really thought about it, but you can tell it's definitely happening. But also, I would say it only happens when they close the knife switch and make it hot. So let me explain that for a second. So basically, when you're burning, say you're on the project, your ground is attached to the project, you have your stinger, and you already have a rod ready to go in the stinger, and your stinger is like, you know, a half an inch from where you're gonna burn and you're ready to go. That's when you tell topside, make it hot. Then they close the knife switch and the circuit is complete. And when you squeeze the trigger of the stinger, oxygen will be flowing out of the tip of the rod at the very end. And when the electricity circuit is complete, it will strike an arc on the end of the rod. And basically the oxygen that's shooting out the end of the rod will help the arc burn hotter. And basically for only a few seconds, like 1 to 2 to 3 seconds, that arc needs to use that oxygen to heat up the magnesium, like the 7 little magnesium rods within the rod itself. So there's a bunch of rods within a rod, but that magnesium, once it heats up, then you can make it cold. You can break the circuit because the rod is burning hot enough to stay lit. So when it's hot, for those few seconds it takes for that tip of the rod to heat up enough to self-sustain itself, those few seconds, that's when you're getting that. That's when I was getting that shock in my hand. So I don't know why I was not getting shocked the other day, and today I was getting a little bit of a shock. I don't know why it was only in my hand. I don't know. I still don't know what it feels like to get in between the stinger and the ground, like a real shock, like all the electricity, like, you know, hitting me. It was just like, because my hand is, I guess, close to where the electricity is flowing, and I may have had like a hole in my glove or something like that, that's why I was feeling a little tingle in my hand. And literally the whole class has felt that. Like literally everybody has had an experience where they're like, oh yeah, when they made it hot, like my hand was tingling, or I felt it through my body or whatever, but it wasn't that bad. And a couple of guys, they touched the end of the rod and, you know, got shocked, like actually shocked, when it was hot. And then I think one person got in between the stinger and the ground, like they were saying they were burning, and then they put their hand like on the project between the stinger and the ground. They put their hand in the middle to brace themselves, and they, you know, got shocked, like actually electrocuted. But, you know, they were fine. It didn't hurt them like at all. It didn't feel good, for sure. But anyways, that was basically the day. I did comms, so I did, after I did my dive, we went to lunch. After that, I did comms, and got to operate the knife switch some more and everything. And then we basically got done for the day. Everybody got through, and then we cleaned everything up. So tomorrow we're gonna do more underwater burning, and then next week we're gonna work on underwater welding in the tanks. So for CDA, I know for DIT, I think they burn in a clear kind of environment where you have like all this visibility and stuff like that. But at CDA, they burn in a like, you can't see kind of environment in the river. But when you're underwater welding, they want to see you like in a tank from a window, so they can actually see you welding and everything like that. So that's just a little tidbit of what's to come for underwater welding next week. I'm super excited for that. I mean, I know anybody and everybody, including us, are super excited about underwater welding. Like, that's like the pinnacle of what we do, basically. So especially in school. But anyways, if you enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like. That's all I have for you guys today. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, and leave any comments or questions for me down below. I hope you guys have a great one. I will see you in tomorrow's video. Hope you have a great one. Peace.